And we have a special guest, Mansoor Qureshi Saab, who is the Sadr of the Detroit Jamaat. Assalamu alaikum, Sadr Saab.
Thanks for having me here.
Assalamu alaikum.
So, Saab, I understand that you were part of the kafla when Hazur arrived. Can you give the audience a brief overview of what was your role and what was your experience like traveling with the kafla?
Yes, so Alhamdulillah that this year Hazrat Khalifatul Masih visited the Midwest of United States, which the cities that he traveled was from Chicago, then to Dayton, then to Columbus, Pittsburgh, and then all the way to Maryland. And I was fortunate enough to be in the first few days as a physician in the kafla. There's usually a physician that travels with the kafla, so I was there with him. But the other good fortune that we have as being the president of the Detroit Jamaat, we and the Columbus Jamaat and other Jamaats of the Midwest region had the opportunity to host Hazur in Columbus. So as soon as we found out about the program, we started making arrangements in collaboration with the Columbus Jamaat, which being the host Jamaat, was making all the preparations. But we all participated. The preparation started about a month or so in advance, and members were all very excited. They're taking time off work, getting ready for all for the activities, and we created a lot of departments to set up all the tasks and activities so everything can go smoothly. So it was really, really exciting. And as you mentioned, the part in the kafla was really interesting and an honor to be and see how the kafla moves and how the Khalifatul Masih travels.
Indeed. Very privileged,
Yes, absolutely.
Very privileged. And I remember a friend of mine, I called him, I said, where are you? He said, I'm in Chicago. So are you going to see, welcome Hazur? He said, no, I'm not allowed because the number is limited. But I'm waiting outside the residence of Hazur to welcome him when here. So he stood there and he saw Hazur. And then he called me that I have seen Hazur. And he flew from New York to Chicago, imagine.
Yes, and it's really quite amazing that of course, some of us have been more privileged in that we've met Hazur and we've had the opportunity to spend time, but there are so many who really haven't had a chance to see Hazur or meet with Hazur, and the amount of sacrifices and the level of sacrifices that they're willing to give in order to just catch a glimpse of him is truly amazing.
Absolutely. As Mansoor was saying that, and I was going to put a question to him that, how long approximately did it take to take off to commence the preparation? Just to commence.
As soon as we found out about the arrival, the preparation started. The excitement and the phone calls and that we have to get ready in the creation of the departments, teleconferences, visits to various jamaats. So we were very fortunate that we started early. And with the arrival of Hazur, the excitement is so much that everybody wants to volunteer and participate in the activities. So it was all going well. As you were saying, there are a lot of members who have come from Pakistan. And they're youngsters who have grown up, in their teenage now, who have never seen a Khalifatul Masih.
Yeah.
And in our Jamaat or Columbus, they were all excited because they wanted to be with him. And when Hazur arrived, the excitement was worth seeing. There's no parallel to that anywhere in the world.
No parallel. No parallel.
To the credit of the Detroit Jamaat, I must say, it was really encouraging and wonderful to see so many khuddam from Detroit actively participating, helping out with the security detail and both in Dayton and Columbus, and I'm sure with all the other activities involved as well. So, Sab, can you give a sense to the audience of what kind of effort and time and how many volunteers, from your perspective,
yeah,
you
this is
saw?
Important. How many volunteers?
So we had about 230 or 240 members travel from Detroit to Columbus, and spent about 2 days there. And out of those, almost everybody were working one way or the other, either in security or ziyafat. Detroit's responsibility was more ziyafat and hospitality, and also Khuddam were participating in the volunteers. So I would say at least half or more of them were working one way or the other. Same thing with the ladies. All the departments were matched on the ladies' side, so they were also doing everything they could. As you all know and feel, the weather has been really hot, and it was really hot in Columbus as well. But especially the day when Hazur arrived, there were children lined up and family members outside in hot weather, and we have seen it in every Jamaat when Hazur comes, that they're out there waiting for them, not worrying about the heat and everything, and just excited to catch a glimpse of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. So almost everyone volunteered and worked together for that visit. Alhamdulillah.
So, Sab, what was it like being in the kafla And obviously, before Hazur's arrival, there was a lot of planning that took place. How things would happen, the sequence in which we would do things. What was it like trying to follow that plan, and were there any surprises that were somewhat unexpected that happened, and how did you deal with them?
Um, we can do as much planning as we can, and as you know, there in these big events there are always surprises, and there were surprises. I can give you one incident that happened which was pleasing, and that was we had members lined up to greet Hazur, and obviously everybody was careful, saying durood and zikr ilahi, and they had signs saying silence please, so that everybody's quiet and there's no noise. When Hazrat Khalifatul Masih walked in and was walking by this individual, he saw the signs and he said, what is this? What does silence please mean here? Is there a speech going on? And people said no, and Hazur said, then let them do the naras, and then we could hear all the naras go off. So it was very nice. And preparation, the way, it's alhamdulillah, being member of Ahmadiyya Jamaat, we're used to jalsas and Jamaati events and preparations, so we can set up departments with security all the way to ziyafat and cleaning and everything. So in the same setup as the Jalsa Salana does, we made all the departments and we prepared. But then, how the kafla arrives, where would Hazur come off the car, and all those things, there are surprises that happen along the way and you have to adjust. And alhamdulillah, everything went very smoothly in our program.
Alhamdulillah. So, mashallah, so far Hazur's visit has been just absolutely wonderful. All the US Jamaat as a whole has been extremely blessed and excited.
The involvement of everybody, as Mansoor Sahib was saying, that 100% people, almost 100% wanted to volunteer.
Yes.
You see, that is the enthusiasm and that is the commitment. And it doesn't come outside the world. Outside this box, you don't see that.
Yes.
सिद्क से मेरी तरफ आओ, इसी में खैर है. मंसूर साहब, जरा उर्दू में कुछ हो जाए हमारे उर्दू व्यूअर्स के लिए कि आपने जो हुजूर की आमद पे
जो जज्बात, जो एहसासात तमाम लोगों में थे, वो बयान किए ही नहीं जा सकते. छोटे छोटे बच्चों में जो थी, झंडे पकड़ के खड़े हैं हज साहब के इंतज़ार में, नज़रें सड़क की तरफ हैं, किस वक्त वो गाड़ियाँ आएंगी और हज साहब तशरीफ़ लाएंगे और उनको देखेंगे. वो जज्बात बयान नहीं किए जा सकते.
और गर्मी आप बता रहे थे,
और गर्मी, शदीद गर्मी है, बच्चे फिर भी बाहर खड़े, तराने उन्होंने याद किए हुए, बार बार प्रैक्टिस की हुई, और कई दिनों से मुझे याद है कि डिट्रॉयट और कोलंबस के बच्चों ने साहब के सामने तराने पढ़ने थे, तो कई दिन उन्होंने मिल के मेहनत की और तराने याद किए, और फिर जब हजूर तशरीफ़ लाए, चंद मिनट होते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए उन्होंने कई दिन तैयारी की, बड़ी मेहनत से, बड़े जोश और जज्बे के साथ कि हमने हजूर के सामने तराने पढ़ने हैं. तो वो बयान करने के देखने से ही पता चलता है, महसूस किया जा सकती है.
यही बात मैंने पहले रोज़ ये अर्ज़ की थी कि हम कोई कैसे भी लफ्ज़ जो है, मुझे तो पामाल लफ्ज़ लगते हैं, यानी हज़ारों मरतबा के इस्तेमाल शुदा, वो लफ्ज़ ये एहसासात बयान ही नहीं कर सकते. यू हैव टू सी इट एंड यू हैव टू फील इट.
एब्सोल्युटली.
वंडरफुल. Wonderful.
So Sahab, Jazakallah, thank you very much for coming and sharing your thoughts and your experiences.
सद शुक्र है, सद शुक्र है, सद शुक्र खुदा का.